It was a chaotic Monday morning, the kind that seemed to unravel faster than Raina Monroe could keep up. Cereal crumbs dusted the kitchen counter, shoelaces tangled in defiance, and school lunches were slapped together with a whispered prayer for the day to go smoothly. Raina, a single mother in her early 30s, was used to the whirlwind of raising her 6-year-old daughter, Laya. Her dark hair was pulled into a messy bun, and her eyes, though tired, sparkled with the fierce love she had for her little girl. But that morning, something Laya said stopped Raina in her tracks. "Mommy," Laya said, tugging gently at Raina's sleeve as she knelt to tie her daughter's shoes, "I met someone today who looks exactly like me." Raina, distracted by the ticking clock and the mental checklist of the day, barely glanced up. "Oh yeah, honey," she said, her voice warm but absent. "What's her name?" "Her name's Maya," Laya said, her tone unusually serious for a 6-year-old. "She has the same eyes, same laugh, same everything. It's like she's my twin." Raina chuckled, brushing it off as childhood imagination. "Maybe she just looks a little like you, sweetheart. Lots of people have doppelgangers." She tied the final knot and stood, smoothing Laya's braid. "No, Mommy," Laya insisted, her small hands balled into fists. "It's like looking in a mirror." The words sent a faint chill down Raina's spine, but she pushed it aside. Kids had wild imaginations, didn't they? She kissed Laya's forehead, handed her the lunchbox, and ushered her out the door to catch the school bus. But as the yellow bus rumbled away, Laya's words lingered, a quiet echo in Raina's mind. That afternoon, Raina stood at the school gates, her reusable coffee cup warm in her hands, watching the flood of children spill out in a colorful blur of backpacks and laughter. Laya usually bounded toward her, all smiles and stories, but today, Raina's heart skipped a beat when she saw her daughter. Laya wasn't alone. Holding her hand was another little girl, same chestnut curls, same heart-shaped face, same dimple on the left cheek, and, most unsettling, the same tiny, crescent-shaped birthmark on her right collarbone. Raina's coffee cup slipped from her hand, splashing across the pavement. "Mommy." Laya beamed, oblivious to her mother's shock. "This is Maya." Maya gave a shy wave, her eyes, Laya's eyes, meeting Raina's with a curious, searching gaze. Raina's legs felt like jelly. She knelt, her voice barely a whisper. "Hi, Maya." A nearby teacher, Mrs. Ellis, noticed Raina's pale face. "Everything all right, Ms. Monroe?" Raina's throat tightened. Who is that child?" she asked, her voice cracking. "That's Maya Carter, Mrs. Ellis said cheerfully. "She transferred here 2 weeks ago. Sweet girl. She's with a foster family. Been in the system for a while, poor thing." "Foster," Raina repeated, her heart hammering. "Why?" Mrs. Ellis's smile softened with sympathy. "Abandoned as a newborn, I'm told. Left at a hospital." Her files full of question marks. Raina couldn't breathe. The world tilted, the chatter of children fading into a dull roar. She managed a weak smile, took Laya's hand, and led her to the car, her mind racing. That night, as Laya slept, Raina sat on her bed, poring over old baby photos. Every memory of Laya's birth flooded back, the joy, the fear, the chaos. And the one memory she had buried deep, locked away in a corner of her heart she never dared to touch. 6 years ago, Raina had given birth to twins. Premature, fragile, they were whisked away to the NICU moments after delivery. The alarms, the cold blue lights, the nurses' panicked voices, it was a blur of terror. When the doctor returned, his face grim, he told her one baby hadn't survived. "We did everything we could," he'd said. Raina, medicated and broken, had clung to Laya, her surviving daughter, and tried to move forward. She had to believe them. She had no choice. But now, staring at a photo of newborn Laya, Raina's hands trembled. Maya's face, her eyes, her dimple, her birthmark, wasn't a coincidence. It was a mirror. A phantom echo of a truth Raina couldn't yet name. The next morning, Raina acted on instinct. She contacted a private lab for a voluntary DNA test, arranging to collect cheek swabs from Laya and Maya. She approached Maya's foster parents, a kind but guarded couple, and explained her suspicions. "I just need to know," she said, her voice steady despite the storm inside her. They agreed, moved by her urgency, though they exchanged wary glances. As she waited for the results, Raina couldn't sleep. She cleaned obsessively, scrubbing counters until her hands were raw. She cooked enough food to feed a small army, freezing casseroles she'd never eat. She called her sister, Tara, just to hear a familiar voice, but didn't dare share her suspicions. "You okay, Rai?" Tara asked, sensing the strain in her sister's voice. "I'm fine," Raina lied, her eyes fixed on a photo of Laya and Maya, taken by the teacher at school. Two radiant faces, side by side, laughing as if they'd known each other forever. Raina whispered to herself, "It's not possible. It can't be." But deep down, in the place where mothers know without proof, she already knew. The email arrived 5 days later. Subject: DNA test results, Maya Carter and Laya Monroe. Raina's hand shook as she clicked it open, the screen loading with agonizing slowness. 6 years of suspense seemed to hang in that moment, 6 birthdays, 6 sets of candles, 6 years of a life stolen. Then the words appeared: probability of full sibling match, 99.99987%. Relationship: monozygotic twins. Asterisk. Raina dropped the laptop. Her knees buckled, and sobs tore from her chest, raw and unstoppable. She hadn't cried when they told her the second baby was gone. She'd been too numb, too shattered. But now, the truth crashed over her like a tidal wave. Maya was hers, her daughter, her flesh and blood, alive, all this time, living in foster care, unprotected, unloved, because of a mistake no one had caught. Clutching her chest, Raina wept for the years lost, for the milestones missed, for the pain her daughter had endured. She remembered the NICU chaos, the alarms, the nurses rushing, the confusion. They'd told her one twin died, but Maya hadn't died. She'd been taken, or lost, or, Raina didn't know how, but she knew one thing: she would bring her daughter home. That afternoon, Raina called the foster agency. "I need to speak to someone immediately," she said, her voice steady with resolve. "It's about Maya Carter. I have her DNA test results. She's my daughter." The woman on the line gasped. "Please hold. I'm transferring you to legal." What followed was a whirlwind of meetings, paperwork, and caseworker visits. Raina learned fragments of Maya's story: found as a newborn, wrapped in a hospital-issued blanket, left at a fire station in the dead of night. No one had connected her to Raina's missing twin. No one had asked the right questions. Raina didn't care about lawsuits or blame. She only wanted Maya. She was granted supervised visitation first. At the foster center, Raina spotted Maya sitting alone, clutching a worn copy of Charlotte's Web. When Maya looked up, her face lit with recognition. "I know you," she said softly, tilting her head. "You're Laya's mommy." Raina knelt, tears welling. "No, baby. I'm your mommy too." Maya stared for a long, silent moment, then smiled. "Home," she whispered. "Yes, sweet girl," Raina choked out. "Home." They hugged, a true mother-daughter embrace, their hearts stitching together after 6 stolen years. But Raina didn't know that someone else had carried this secret, and they were about to come forward. 3 weeks later, as Raina and the girls settled into a fragile new rhythm, a letter arrived. No return address, just shaky handwriting on a plain envelope. Raina's stomach twisted as she opened it. The letter began: "Ms. Monroe, if you're reading this, you've discovered the truth. I was the night nurse the night your twins were born." Asterisk. The words spilled out in a heartbreaking confession. The NICU had been understaffed, chaotic. A clerical error, a mix-up in bracelets, and the wrong baby was recorded as deceased. Maya, the healthy twin, was mistakenly sent to another ward, then discharged to social services when no one claimed her. The nurse had seen Maya's abandonment story in the news weeks later, her suspicions gnawing at her. But fear of losing her job, her reputation, kept her silent. Now, battling stage 4 cancer, she had nothing left to lose but her soul. "I hope someday Laya and Maya will always be together, like they were meant to be," she wrote. Raina sat frozen, tears streaming down her face. She remembered the birth bracelets she'd ordered, engraved with Laya and Maya, always together. She'd kept Laya's in a drawer, unable to look at the other. Now, the truth burned: Maya had been alive, alone, because of a mistake no one bothered to correct. Raina marched the letter to the foster board. Weeks of meetings, court dates, and interviews followed. The hospital issued a formal apology, promising an investigation, but Raina brushed it aside. Her focus was Maya. Finally, the call came. Ms. Monroe, your petition for full and permanent custody of Maya has been approved. Raina collapsed in relief, laughing through her tears. That evening, Maya stepped through the front door, a small suitcase in hand. Raina dropped to her knees. This is your forever home, she whispered. Maya didn't answer. She ran into Raina's arms and held on tight, as if making up for 6 years of missed embraces. That night, Raina dusted off Laya's baby book, its pages incomplete. She taped in a new photo, Laya and Maya, heads tilted together, smiling in the golden sunset. Beneath it, she wrote, Day 2191, Maya came home. Asterisk. As the girls played outside, their laughter soaring across the yard, Raina watched from the porch, her hand resting on her heart. She thought of the years lost, the milestones missed. But she also thought of grace, of second chances, of love that refused to let go. Girls, she called, her voice breaking with joy. Come inside. Dinner's ready. Hand in hand, Laya and Maya ran toward her, their laughter a melody that mended every broken piece of Raina's heart. Twin souls, one family, and a mother who never stopped believing. Maya had found her way home.